You're listening to the Valley Current.
Yeah, Claudia? Oh, excellent. Good. You're there. How are you?
I am good. Here I am. Hi.
Good. I'm glad we could do this. So tell me your journey, because you've become a very international arbitrator and mediator. Tell me your journey of how you got there, how you made your way there.
Well, more a mediator than an arbitrator.
Okay.
But everything started many years ago in Florence. Thanks to
in
Italy. Yes, Firenze, Italy. With a basic civil and commercial mediation course. And then it moved from Italy, like Florence, to Rome, still in Italy.
Yeah.
Then it passed through Lebanon. Then,
okay.
Yes, Beirut in Lebanon. Then in the UK, so London. Then I went to Thailand, also where I got a peace fellow, like a peace building fellowship, and then back to Italy.
Quite a journey. Where were you born? Were you born in Italy? You must have been, right?
Yes, I was born in Italy, in Rome.
In Rome, okay, because my grandparents were born one side in Sorrento and another side in Naples.
Nice.
So pure Italianos.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. So it's an interesting, I was just talking about grandparents today. It's funny, small world thing, and saying they were born in Italy, but then they came to the United States in the early 1900s. And they immigrated. And if you search on Ancestry.com, which is a famous website now that provides this data, you can see like the ship they came in on. So you've taken quite a path. Your parents were and are probably still in Italy now?
Yes, they are. And actually my mother has the same last name of yours.
Russo.
Yes,
well, we might be related, Claudia. We might.
In a way, why not?
and your husband's name is Calouri, yeah.
My father's name is Calouri. Yes.
Calouri. Okay, so that's a small world. What's your mother's first name?
Raffaella.
Okay. I think there is a connection. I'm going to find something that will send it to you. My grandparents, great-grandparents were farmers in Sorrento, and that the cheese factory, they eventually became cheese makers, mozzarella makers.
Oh wow!
And their factory is still in Piano di Sorrento. I don't know if you've ever been to Piano di Sorrento. The stairs.
I will go.
Oh, it's very beautiful, and they've got a small factory. But you decided to go to law. You decided to go into the law field. Yeah.
Yes. And I decided. It was not a conscious decision. The mediation, the pathway was very conscious instead. So in Italy, we had a mediation law in 2010, but at that time I was more curious about exploring the world. So I went to, between 2009, 2010, I spent a few months in the US, in Washington, D.C. So for a short, very short, but very intense period in Uganda, at an international conference about the International Criminal Court that we are hearing of these days.
Yes.
Then, so the US, I went to Belgium to learn French. And I wanted to explore very much.
Yes.
And when I came back in 2015, I still wanted to, I came back earlier. So I had also, I started my consultancy in international business development to work with small Italian companies that wanted to expand their business abroad.
Right.
And then I got back to, that time I moved to Firenze, to Florence.
Right.
And I wanted to go back to the law field. And then I met our colleague, Federico, was also a member of Federico Antic, who was also a member of CILS and a participant to the previous symposia.
Yes.
And I discovered, thanks to him, mediation, and that was a conscious decision. And I've been dealing with mediation, civil and commercial mainly, but also intercultural aspects of dispute resolution for 8 years now.
Yeah.
And I intend to keep doing that for a very long time.
Yeah, just for the benefit of all the listeners, CILS is the Center for International Legal Studies in Salzburg, Austria. They also have offices in Colorado, I want to say Colorado Springs. And they're run by father and son, Campbell. Christian Campbell's the son, and Dennis Campbell's the father. And they run an annual program, which is how Claudia and I met, because we're both speakers at an annual program that's given in Salzburg. And I said to her, and we're doing another conference soon in May, and I suggested to her and to others, we do a brief introductory podcast about international mediation, and you are one of the experts, and there is a actual website entry, which I will share the screen on, that shows you as being a person that speaks both perfect English as well as, of course, perfect Italian, because you are Italian, with lots of international experience, where you can be called upon to do complex mediation. And there's a description of you on the website. The website is available, cdr.com. That's just one of the ones that you work through. You work through other organizations too, right?
Yes, I work with the Italian organization as well, like the European Center of Mediation and Arbitration, with trainings also with Bridges Academy. Lynn Cole is also one of the speakers at the symposium that you were mentioning, Jack. Many other organizations, but on LinkedIn there are all my contact details, and so it's interesting. This May there will be the 4th biennial mediation symposium in Salzburg, where we're going to meet. Yes. And it's going to be very interesting.
Yes, and you are actually one of the leaders of the group. You're one of the co-chairs of the group, along with others who are supporting the program. It's now becoming a pretty large group. And I did some interviews. My goal is to interview everyone, if it's possible, just to give people a flavor of the background, because you bring to the table lots of international and intercultural aspects, which a lot of American mediators and arbitrators and neutrals don't really bring to the table, because they don't speak a second language. They don't understand the culture in the EU is different from the culture in the US. And they tend to not have the experience that mediators get as a result of doing disputes between companies in Germany and companies in France and companies in Italy. Those are all EU countries, but they're very different, and they speak different languages, and they take different approaches legally, right?
Yes, legally, but and also from a negotiation point of view, like communication can be very different from country to country. It doesn't matter that we are in the same union, in the European Union, but French, German, Spanish, and others can have very different communication styles and approaches, as you said.
Right. And so when you think about those differences, do you say to yourself they're getting better or worse over time? Like over time, as you look at the differences, has the EU brought more unity or more disagreement in the cases that you see between businesses of different countries?
The good thing about the European Union is that we have a common legal framework. So I was, for example, dealing with an American client that wants to do business in different European countries. And it's easy for me as an Italian lawyer to understand the framework in France or Belgium or, for example, Hungary, because I can refer to the same laws. Then each in the implementation of the laws and then the dispute resolution system can be different, but this is not the principles are the same. And that is very important. The cultural differences do not get worse or better, but they're still there. And it's important to understand when a French give you a negative feedback, something that an American would perceive as a negative feedback, and it's not actually that negative. So right. There are also positive inferences in that kind of communication, but the style and the way something bad is communicated by a French or by an Italian is completely different from what an American would perceive as negative or positive. So all these little nuances and details are still there. And the negotiation styles tend to be very, like when you talk about commercial cases, business people are much more practical and they understand what we're talking about. But it's also international negotiation. It's very much affected by the human factor.
Right.
And even a word or a sentence said at the wrong time to the wrong person with the wrong accent, tone, can really jeopardize a deal. This is it's interesting for me when I approach the international world.
Right. So you've become quite an experienced person with a lot of different cases under your belt, working through many different international organizations. Here's another one called the ADR Initiative that comes up as soon as you type your name. And there's your smiling picture, which is great. And you have a very nice way about you. And I just noticed it says you're fluent in Italian, English, as well as French.
Yes, French
and
too.
That you're passionate for traveling and motorbikes. Yes. So like me, you're a motorcycle enthusiast. I didn't know that about you. So that's quite interesting.
I am. I drive, currently I drive a Kawasaki ER6N.
Okay. Because I have a electric motorcycle now, and I have to say it's way faster than a gas-based motorcycle. The electric motorcycles now are unbelievably fast. Acceleration is like 0 to 100 in 3 seconds. 0 to 100 kilometers in 3 seconds. I mean, it's that fast. So people can reach you through CILS, as well as through the ADR Initiative, as well as through the other website we put up, which is, what is it called? The other one that
US CEDAR, it's the Center for Effective Dispute Resolution. With them, I'm a member of the Platform to Business panel. This is also a European regulation that provides an ADR system between marketplaces, so platforms like Facebook, Amazon, Airbnb, or Booking, and the companies that offer their services through these platforms. So this is with CEDAR.
Right. And the last one that I note that comes up for you is through ADR OD International. What is that?
International. So ADR ODR International is a London-based company that provides mediation services and also trainings all over the world. And I've been with them since 2017, dealing with trainings and also international competitions, both in negotiation, commercial negotiation, and commercial mediation all over the world.
I look forward to seeing you in May.
Me too.
So am I. It looks to me like you're staying very, very busy, and you're enjoying what you do very much.
I'm passionate about it. That's the only thing I can do in my life, actually.
I think that's a huge benefit. You found your calling, Claudia, so it's good talking to you. Thank you for making the time.
Thank you so much to you, Jack.
I know it's late where you are, so I'll let you go.
Thank you so much
for coming in. Bye-bye.
Thank you for the time. Bye.
Tune in next time on The Valley Current.